Fanny for mingles. These are the 5 spots I take a look whenever I'm checking the fanny area for boy doggies. First is the penis. I want to check the hair length, whether they have that green fluid on the tip of their penis. It's absolutely natural, by the way. It should be clean, and it's absolutely a perfect sign of being healthy. Whether there's any injury or irritation around, tangles or mats. Around the balls area, again, hair length, injury, skin irritation, hair discoloration, leftover skin from neutering, tangles and mats. On the nipples area, I'm looking for injury, skin irritation, inverted nipples, or enlarged nipples, depending on what's going on. Hair discoloration, tangles and mats. Around the anus area, hair length, injury, skin irritation, skin growth, hair discoloration, tangles, mats, poop, whatnot. I always check at least these. In the armpit area, I'm checking the hair length, any tangles or mats, injuries, skin irritation, foreign objects. I found sticker burrs in there, a lot of mats, tangled all the time. And I usually go ahead with a shorter trim around the armpits in case the owner doesn't have, or the parent doesn't have any other wish about that area. So it depends, but these are the basics of what I check. Now let's take a look how it looks like in actual life when stuff hits the fan. So on the penis, we again checked hair length, whether there's the green fluid thing there, injury, skin irritation, tangles and mats. Now on this poor guy, you can take a look. On the left side, it's the clean, nice, tangle-free, short hair, no mats, no tangles, no discoloration, no skin irritation kind of thing. That was under that sort of like a penis cap from mats. If you take a look at the middle image on the top row, you can see that the white coat is absolutely discolored. It's full with urine. It's soaking it up actually. And I was super surprised to see this doggy did not have an absolutely rotting poor penis under this mess. But I'm guessing it's not far away, plus the discomfort coming from this is just yuck. So we don't want to ever get even close to this situation. You can see on the right images that how it looks like when I was trying to remove it with the clipper. It's literally like a cap, and after I removed it, it looks like a little hat or whatnot. I have no idea how this poor dog peed, how he kept himself clean, and I was just very happy that he was here and he could at least get rid of this. Another example. Here you can see this doggy, it's a puppy, has a really long hair around the penis. He already got that yellow greenish mucus from the penis is stuck with some pee in the coat there. It's not desirable. Another thing which I want you to keep an eye out for is illustrated on the row below, on the bottom part. On the bottom left image, you see the penis within the sac, and the hair, the extra long hair, is sucked in the little socket the penis goes back in. It's, if you can imagine, or as you can probably imagine along with me, it's really not comfortable. So keeping the penis hair nice and short, just like on the image on the right. It's the same dog, it's just trimmed hair around the penis. You can avoid that hair curling back in with the penis, and the doggy will be able to clean it much easier. There's not going to be excess licking or anything like that. The doggy will be one happy puppy, literally. On the top right, you see the penis hair nice and short. It's just an example how it looks like when the coat is longer and versus when it's shorter. Again, I've seen this on the bottom row not super often, but when I see it, I want to cry, like, poor dog. So we really need to make sure that it's not happening to our puppers. Injuries, skin irritation, whatnot. On this doggy, you can see a little growth, or I don't know what that is, but definitely a growth there. I wish I had a veterinarian with me and who could tell what's going on exactly there. The owner took the doggy to the vet, and they were like, it's just skin irritation. The dog is licking a little bit more, and they left it alone. I probably got second opinion, or how I like to call it, first opinion, and figure what's going on, because the dog is licking at his penis like all the time. He has crazy mats. This is after the sanitary trim, so it's nice and short right now, but poor dog has crazy amount of mats all the time when he gets to me. Plus, with these little bumps on his on the skin of his penis, it tells me something is going on, but it's hard to find a veterinarian who is dedicated enough to dig deeper without a lot of pressure from the parents. That's my 2 cents. Okay, another thing here, you can see a little bit more about the impact of not getting a sanitary trim for quite a while. This poor schnoodle had, on the top row, had really long hair. This doggy was sleeping with their mom and dad, in the bed. I have no idea how they did it, but they did. And he had a lot of urine. If you take a look at the belly above the penis, that dark brown spot, especially easier visible on the left side, on the top row, that is, guys, pee. Like skin irritation, hardcore stuck on the skin pee. And we really need to keep an eye on that little spot there. In this case, it's not too small, but we really need to make sure that we get the doggy in a nice and good sanitary trim. On the right side, you see the same dog with a little bit better light, but on the left side, it's easier to see that spot I was talking about in the middle, above the penis. So keep an eye on the skin above the penis area as well. On the bottom row, you see the doggy with a full coat around the privates, and you see brownish yellowish spots on the penis, above the penis, and around the knees on the 2 hind legs. How can we prevent this from happening? If you take a look at the right image on the bottom row, you can see that the doggy got a really detailed, a big, large surface Fanny trim. So the hair is cleaned above the penis, on the inner thighs, and it's pretty significant haircut. But it will keep the doggy clean. Now I did it with a hair clipper, number 10. And I'm talking about as this machine. I really like that. But you can totally get to something similar, almost as comforting with a pair of shears, what you can see, or half of it, on the top right image. So you can get to this spot even with shears, which we're going to talk about in the advanced course. But we definitely need to keep an eye out for these situations developing or already there on your doodle. Now, another close-up about a crazy case. And by the way, all of these doggies have parents. They are living in amazing homes with pools and jacuzzi and whatnot. They're not shelter dogs. So this can happen to anyone. On the top left image, you see, or more likely you can see, the penis because it's full with mats. Like, it's very hard to locate where the penis is actually in the mat forest there. Bottom image, same thing on the left side. I was suspecting that there's a penis somewhere there in there, but it took me a while to find it. On the right side, you see the same doggy with a super short haircut all over, but also on the penis area, so you can see what was going on in there. Now, there is no way you can brush a dog like that in that situation when the doggy is that matted. So everything has to be trimmed super short. Whenever the situation is this crazy, then we need the clippers. We're not going to be able to do safe stuff with shears. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that how it looks like when it's really matted and how it looks like when it's nice and clean. Let's take a look at the balls. I found a few crazy things around the balls of a few clients of mine and some on my own doggy. So let's take a look. We're talking about hair length, injury, skin irritation, hair discoloration, leftover skin from neutering, how it looks like, whether it's healing well or whatnot, tangles and mats. Now on this image on the screen, you can see one of my clients' balls, and you can see a little spot in the middle. That's on the left one. That's a scab. We have no idea how the doggy got it. We still don't know. But sometimes they can get mats. Scabs on their skin, on the balls. So keep an eye out for that, especially if you get a puppy and your older doggy is intact, because puppy teeth can be super sharp, and sometimes doggies are not letting the other doggy know that, hey, this really hurts. It happened to my own doggy. When he was playing with a puppy, then the puppy was grabbing at his balls because they were like bouncing around or whatnot, and my doggy was not letting him know, like, hey, leave me alone. So poor thing developed several scratches. By the time we realized what's happening, he had scratches, scabs, and everything. Full on ball situation, poor thing. So keep an eye on your doggy's balls in case you have a male and he's intact, because it's a big deal. Hair and skin irritation, hair length. I wanted to talk about just a little bit about the hair length. Whenever doggies are intact, we really need to leave some hair around the balls, because it helps to keep them away from the surroundings. It helps with temperature. You don't have to leave it super bushy, because as you can see, this doggy doesn't have a lot, and most of the doggies do not have crazy amount of hair around their balls. But we really need to leave some, because otherwise the skin there, in case we trim the hair very short, one, it's super tricky to deal with that super soft skin there with the clippers or anything. So the fact that you need to be super, super careful is probably playing it a little low. Whenever we attempt to do a little trim around the balls, we need to make sure that we leave a little bit of hair. So I really like to suggest to parents to ask for some hair around the balls, because sometimes people at the groomer, they are not paying attention, or they are operating by different rules, and you need to make sure that your doggy will have some hair around his balls. Nipples. You can see a super clean sanitary trim here for a guy, and you can see his nipples. Now, they are sometimes parents mistaken those to ticks and skin injury or whatnot. You really need to make sure that you know what type of nipples your doggy has, and find them and keep an eye on them, because sometimes they can get injured, sometimes they can get enlarged. You really want to know where they are for brushing, because it's not fun to scratch over those, whether they are popping out or they are flat or inverted. We want to know where they are, and we want to monitor them, how they look like. Anus. Some of my clients ask me to go super short around there. Some of my clients are like, trim it, but leave some hair there so it's not gonna be super visible. They don't like the bullseye look on the privates. As long as the hair is not matted, I'm happy to do it. So on the left image, you see a doggy's butt with full fluff on. So it's very hard to find, or fairly hard to find the anus. It's funny, I had a dark black Labradoodle client, and they rescued him, and the veterinarian could not find the butthole when they were trying to take the temperature, like literally. And I was like, did they trim the hair there so they could find it? And they were like, I'm like, oh my god. So I was reporting to the mom that, hey, I found the butthole. It was there. And it was funny. So it's sometimes a little bit harder to find it, especially in darker doggies, but you really need to make sure that you find it, because it can tell you a lot of things. You want to make sure that your doggy does not have tangles or mats around, so you need to brush that area, and or at least around the anus area, not literally the anus area. So we want to make sure that there are no tangles or no mats, no skin irritation, skin growth, or anything. And we want to make sure that the path to the poop is absolutely free, so the doggy won't have any hard times. Now let's take a look at hard times, how it looks when it's crazy. So top right image, doggy got yogurt. Now oftentimes it helps huge, and it's amazing to stop diarrhea, whatnot. But this guy had the time when the poop got stuck in there. Not fun. Bottom left image, Very similar situation, but with pumpkin. Yum. The doggy had diarrhea, he got pumpkin, and since the coat around the butt area was longer and matted, I don't even have any idea how the doggy managed to get that out, but it got stuck there. Right image on the bottom, cleaned up. Same doggy like on the left, but cleaned up butt area. At least the majority of the craziness is gone. So and the doggy of course got a good bath, so he's way cleaner than that one, but it was one step closer to the right direction. So we really need to make sure that we take a look, lift the tail, not just taking a look by, oh, fluffy butt, oh, cute. No, you want to grab that tail, lift it up, and take a look there. What's going on? And move the coat. Whenever you're brushing or searching for tangles on mats, you really want to grab that tail, take a look at the butt, and then go. Armpit area. This guy had, I don't even know what this was, maybe a sticker burr or something, or scabs, I don't know. But we need to make sure that we are taking a look in the armpit area as well. We're going to talk about how you can do that. For home grooming, I would probably suggest to have your doggy on his or her back and take a look there with a headlamp, or if you have good light, then with the whatever light you have at home, in case that's going to be enough. So take a look, move the doggy's leg, and move the skin and take a look what's going on in there.